I've been using the transit check-in from Bellroy alongside the carry-on size that released last year. And in this video, I'll give a detailed look, cover the good and the bad, and the differences between the two sizes because surprisingly, there are differences. I reviewed the carry-on size last year and I've been using it on and off since then, but now there's these two check-ins to match. This 69 liter and there's also a bigger 101 liter large check-in. And Bellroy does list both the volume and the capacity. So what I said is the volume because that's what most companies use, while capacity is how much the bag can actually fit. So like the carry-on can actually hold 34 liters worth of stuff, which is equivalent to a big travel backpack. The main strength that Bellroy markets with these rollers is probably the built-in organization, which I found to be pretty good, but that alone wasn't a reason for me to stick with the rollers. The competitive advantage for me personally was the weight. At 6.8 and 8.6 pounds respectively, they're definitely on the lighter side of four-wheeled rollers on the market. For reference, here's the four rollers I've used most recently. The Monos carry-on is the closest in weight at 7.1 pounds. And then my go-to check-in has been the Level 8 Hegent Aluminum Hybrid, which is a beastly 12.6 pounds. And all of those rollers have reasons and features that justify that weight, but I just wanted to start with weight because that should be the number one priority for a roller luggage going into the future. Airlines have gotten stricter with baggage limits and will continue to do so because they'll never pass up an opportunity to price gouge the customer. Carry-on limits for budget airlines can be as low as 15 pounds, 7 kilograms, and check-ins, it's usually 50 pounds or 23 kilograms. And even at these 40 and 69 liter luggage sizes, those weight limits can definitely be reached depending on what you pack, like heavy electronics, camera equipment, or lots of liquids. And of course, if you use the 101 check-in large size, I'd be more surprised if you didn't go over the limit. So weight is the main reason I like these luggages, pretty straightforward, and Bellroy also does color options very well. I think there's like 5 or 7 colors. Starting with the inside of the bag, the big feature in these are the internal packing cubes, but done differently in each size. And also I like the nice blue interior material. It's the same as on their Pro backpacks. So the carry-on has these two that are removable, and I ended up using the smaller one for socks and underwear, and the larger one for dirty clothes or shoes. And I preferred to leave them unconnected in the middle most of the time, just because it was a hassle to like undo it every time and access the stuff below. But I did keep them, I guess, anchored on the top and bottom. And I'm definitely not a packing cube person, but I did use these more with the rolling luggage just because of the larger amount of clothes that I had and just how rollers have no built-in organization. The check-in, on the other hand, has a non-removable packing cube, and 2 flaps with these pockets, also non-removable because these actually double as the compression straps with a magnetic closure. Very interesting. So which one do you guys prefer? And I can see the case for both. The carry-on is nice because it's removable, of course, but there are no compression straps to hold my stuff in on this side. The check-in is the opposite. It has compression straps, and I found the small pockets to actually be useful where most roller luggages don't give this type of small item organization, but I wish the top pocket was removable like on the carry-on. It would have been cool if Bellroy combined kind of the design of these to make the removable cubes from the small one and the magnetic compression straps from the large one. But regardless, both setups worked pretty well, and I do respect Bellroy for taking some design risks in a roller luggage category that has very little of that. Externally, both bags are nearly identical. The Hinomoto wheels roll very well, and they're standard on rollers in this price range. And there is a larger diameter wheel on the check-in size. The carry-on has 3 handle heights, and the check-in has 2. And these bags are designed to have replaceable components. And you can tell, for example, like on the handle, it's exposed. And I haven't had any bags break on me yet, so cross my fingers, but I can't comment on that whole replaceable process yet. There's a TSA lock and fabric handles, but no features on the outside, versus the bags I referenced earlier, like the Air with its built-in brakes and the tank carry-on with its expansion. So the Bellroy Transit Luggage are basic in that regard as a trade-off for being lightweight. And finally, you guys requested I show more of my actual travel setup, like the complete setup. So right now it's these two rollers along with the goated Patagonia Mini MLC 30 liter. And I also have the Bellroy Daypack 20 liter in this brand new brown River Rock colorway, pretty cool. And also my trusty Fjallraven High Coast hip pack. My style leans towards lightweight, so I tend to get bags from outdoor companies. Any trip I've ever taken and probably ever will take will be covered by a combination of these 5 bags, or at least these 5 bag sizes. At most, I'll take all 5 if it's with the family and we have a car and space to fit larger luggage. If I'm going by myself domestic, I'll do carry-on roller and MLC or a work brief. Or if I'm by myself going international, somewhere like Japan, I'll do a check-in for the shopping, carry-on roller, plus a packable day pack inside the carry-on to use kind of when I'm out and about every day, plus the hip pack when I'm on the plane. So if you're looking for a minimal travel setup, I think 5 bags or less can cover basically any trip you'll do. Anyways, comment below if you want a response. Let's talk, and subscribe for new videos on Sundays. Thanks.